Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Trending Thursday. This is the live stream that started it all off, folks. My name is Glenn, senior instructor here at VectorVest. Glad to always be here. One of my favorite days of the week. Yesterday we had a big turnout because of the Fed. I'm glad that you were here as well. If you can hear me, by all means, please respond in the chat, preferably with VV Nation, to let me know that I am coming across loud and clear. Another new shirt. Another new VectorVest shirt, all from the store. By the way, my code, waiting for William to get here. William, are you here? My code, Glenn23, gives you 20% off from the store. 20% off from the store. Yesterday I misspoke, but we did have someone who did call in and said, hey, the code didn't work. And we took care of him. So I was looking for William. I'll be still looking for William throughout the live stream. Let him know. But the code, the Glenn23 code, promo code at the store only gives you 20% off. Hey, listen, it's still 20% off. So, William, William, I got you. You got what I said yesterday. You got it. I made sure that you were taken care of. I did misspeak, but I'm glad that you're here so that I could tell you in person, face to face. You looking at me, William? Eyeballs to eyeballs. You're good to go. All right. It should give you 23% off. Listen, it's 20%. Mark, why are you trying to stir the pot? Why are you a pot stirrer? Stop being a pot stirrer. All right. How many people are here? 144. Excellent. So the alert hit. This is where I tell you right now, share this stream. Joey's going to put the link up there. Share the stream. This is opportunity for us to reach as many people as we possibly can. I'm trying to help to grow the channel. Remember, I want to push this over to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That's a big call. That's a big number. But I'm hoping that VV Nation shows up for me. Now, what is the code for free XROF? The code for free XROF is, hold on, I got a code for you. This is the code. No. That's the code. That is the code for free XROF. How about that? How about that? That is the code for free XROF. I keep forgetting that Joey gave me those videos, those GIFs. What is it called? A JPEG? What's it called, Joey?
GIF, you got it.
It's a GIF. All right. So, Brandon Gillespie, did you say? See, we're not getting into that. We still not getting into that. All right. Share the link. Hit the like button as we get started. All right. So, looking at the Fed yesterday, the Fed raised a quarter basis points. Video tomorrow. All right. The 6 p.m. video tomorrow is all going to be about deciphering what the Fed said. All right. We all know that the Fed gives a lot of double talk. So I broke down some of the things that the Fed talked about yesterday, and I made a video. So the video tomorrow is something along the lines of, what did I give it a title? Joey, do you remember the title? It's something along the lines of
the truth behind their words.
The truth behind the words of what the Fed said. So that's going
to,
Decoding the Fed. Ooh, it should be a book. I think I might write a book, Decoding the Fed. Well, that's tomorrow's 6 p.m. video here on YouTube. 50K is a big number, so only you want to double the current amount of subscribers. No problem. I'll tell everyone over at the bowling alley tonight. Thank you, Badger. Thank you for that, Badger. I appreciate that. Mark says, Cigar, what is this timeout you speak of? Keep messing around. You keep messing around, Mark. You're going to find out. Ray says, I haven't seen David Paul on YouTube for a while. I hope he's okay. I do too. From what I understand, Linda Roya sent out an email to all of the VectorVest subscribers. David Paul is fighting an infection at the hospital, and we're all praying for him. All I got to say about that. That's all that I know to say about that. So, yes, I do miss his sense of humor as well. You know why? Because right now in the current market, you're going to have some testicular, what the son of a gun, Fortitude. That's what it is. Testicular fortitude. This is going to be one of those markets right now. Again, a lot of what the Fed said yesterday, I talked about in my video tomorrow. But it puts it on the table that the Fed still got at least one more rate hike in play. And again, you want to watch the video tomorrow. All right. You want to watch the, yeah, I'm with you, Francisco. I hope he gets well. I hope he gets well. Glenn, what stocks benefit from all this hot A weather that has been plaguing? You know what a good one is? A Fox Pool. P-O-L-L, just P-O-O-L. You know, people who are not selling their homes as a home improvement type of thing to stay in the current home. I'm thinking a lot of pools are going in this summer. Keep that in mind. That's a good question, A Fox. That's a good question. Keep that in mind. I like pool. And you know something? I like a lot of the like Home Depot and Lowe's in regards to doing upgrades and updates to the homes. I think that I say intestinal fortitude, but Dr. David Paul says testicular fortitude. There's a difference. I'm the one that says intestinal. HVAC companies is another good one. Chris is right. That's another one. ACs are breaking down all over the place. Badger says David Paul can say that, and it brings a laugh from the crowd. When you say it, it's kind of pornographic. Wow. Joey, do you agree with that it was kind of pornographic? I don't know. Joey may or may not. So with that being said, major indices mixed today. NASDAQ looks like it's up the most out of everything. So let's go into the software. Let's get into the home. Let's get into my graph. Creepy to say at least, says Mark. Okay, I got you. Here's where the market stands. There we go. And I've got the special presentation for tomorrow as well. I think that the special presentation tomorrow is going to be all about protecting profits. We'll see how that plays out. But we had a green candle today. It was a closed green candle, but now it's a closed red candle. We're still in July. Could this now be the new July high? Cojones sounds much better. Can I say that, Joey? Can I say that word? I don't know. Anyway, so after the Fed made the announcement, we finished with an update yesterday, followed through today. I think more and more people understand that he's very adamant about getting down to 2%. Inflation is cooling. Inflation is cooling, but people are spending money. That's in my video tomorrow. People are spending money. The economy is still growing. We're going to talk about GDP. The economy is still growing. Normally, when the Fed tightens, the market tends to fall. The economy tends to tighten. And it is with the exception of the job market. And if the job market is still strong, then what does that mean? That means people are still working. If they're still working, they're making money. If they're making money, they're spending it. You look at consumer spending is still moving. All right. All of these things, coupled that with the rise in oil, all of these things are all coming back to being inflationary. All of this is coming back to being inflationary. Now, I'm okay with a healthy move of inflation. Move prices, people have money, prices go up. That's part of life. That's part of the cycle. The problem is when you let it run rampant, and that's where it becomes an issue. I don't think even if inflation starts to raise its head again before he gets to 2%, I don't think he lets it get away. Americans owe $1.8 trillion in credit card debt. Yes, Dan. You know why? Because people are traveling. People, because of inflation, don't have the money. Wages are going up. Nominal wages are going up, not core. Nominal wages are going up. But is it enough to keep up with inflation? And a lot of people are putting a lot of money on their credit cards. I have talked about this on more than one occasion. There's going to be a credit card bubble. There's going to be a lot of people defaulting come next year. It's going to be a big issue. Still, it's going to be an issue. Do job numbers count positions that are being replaced by AI? I don't know. I think if an AI gets a job, it's not a person. It doesn't count as a job. But people are talking about AI will take jobs. I think that it will, but I think that because of the technology in the means to upkeep the technology, I still think on the other side, AI will create jobs. All right. Now, the magic question is, does it level out? Does the amount of jobs that AI take away equal the amount of jobs that AI can give? And that I don't have an answer to. Student loans, student loans have been I got my 2 cents to add to a student loan. I was one that when I went to college, I was lucky I got a Pell and a TAP grant. All right, I didn't have to pay for anything but my own books. So I went to John Jay College of Criminal Justice in New York for a couple of years before I left to go join the Marine Corps. So I was one of those people that didn't have to worry about student loans. When it comes down to the student loans, it's something that you take on to better your life. I type a 1 if you agree with that. Follow my path here when it comes down to this. It's something that you do. You take on this responsibility of assuming these loans to make yourself a better life. Type a 1 if you agree with that. All right. And over time, over our history, a lot of people have gone to schools, have paid the money, and you know what they've done in making themselves a better life? They bit the bullet and they had to pay it back. All right. This is Glenn's 2 cents when it comes down to student loans. They bit the bullet, they paid it back, and that's that. In today's age, I don't think the same semblance of I worked hard to get my degree, now I got to pay the money back. That's a sense of accountability. You took the loan to make your life better. Now you got to pay it back. So I'm not a big fan of the relief for that. You know how many people in the country have put themselves in bad shape just to pay back their loans so that they can do that? So that's when it comes down to the debt relief on colleges, I'm not a fan of that. I think that if it was worth it for you to take out the loan to make your life better, then it should be worth it for you to pay it back. Okay. Now, not everybody in this room is going to agree with that, especially if you've got the loan and you said, I need the help. There's a difference between getting the help and getting it all taken away just because. Okay. So the answer is no, wages are going up. And John, wages nominally are going up. I saw a story where wages are catching up with inflation since inflation is falling down, but core wages are not. But the nominal wages are. And I might have to do a video to differentiate between the two sometime in the near future. All right, so John, that's a good statement. But Steve Chappell and I have a little bit of a disagreement when it comes down to that. Taxes are up, wages are down. And to a certain degree. So you say wages are down, but if you look at wages overall, I think we've had the biggest raise in wages in a lot of years. I don't know the exact number, but in a lot of years. And it was needed because inflation was rising up so much. I put that out there, John. Whether we agree on that or not is, I appreciate everybody's opinion. I'm just giving you what I know. And I'm not an economist. Don't get me wrong. I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy deciphering the information. All right. Tabula says the Chinese economy may not recover enough in the short term to make commodities and oil stocks rise. I think that we're going to talk about oil. We're going to actually talk about oil, so I won't get deep into that. All right. So what am I looking at right now? A bigger down day is kicking in. I'm telling I've already got a video out there. I did it a couple of Fridays ago talking about how to take your profits, several different techniques to take your profit. If you haven't watched that, Joey, if you can find that real quick, throw that in the chat. If you haven't watched that yet, folks, please do that. What's pushing the market higher? FOMO. That's what it really comes down to, because all of this move up, a lot of people were sitting on the sidelines, and now a lot of people are coming late to the game, pushing the market higher. All right, there's no ifs. Huh?
What video did you
The one about protecting when to sell your stocks.
Mastering stock profits?
Yep, mastering stock profits. And folks, in that video, I take you through several different techniques to know how to take your profits off the table. And folks, I can't push it enough. This is that time. Knowing that the market is looking toppy, knowing that we got a new July high and the market's pulling back. Watch the 3 and the 8. So If you haven't watched that video, I implore you, please, please watch. Last thing I want to see you guys do is on the stocks that you're making a lot of money on to give it all back. All right, that's the last thing I want to see you do. I don't want to see you give it all back. So if you haven't watched the video, please do. All right, let's start getting into the stories that I got for the market today. Let's go. And here's, oh, that's not good. Hold on. Can I make that better? Oh, wrong way, wrong way. There we go. News. U.S. stocks rising after stronger than expected GDP. All right, that's important. We get to Meta in a second. But the gross domestic product rose. Where is it? Stocks better in exporting, blah, blah, blah. Here it is. The GDP accelerates 2.4% in the second quarter. Jobless claims decline. GDP rising, the gross domestic product rising is a positive sign. But it shows that the economy is stronger than probably what the Fed would like to have. But I say that on a couple of different fronts. The Fed said yesterday that, these are all good things for our economy, all right? And that's a good thing. But as he's tightening down and by raising interest rates, that slows the economy. So we're slowing, but we're rising, but not running away. So we're making strides in that the market or the economy is still strong or stronger, even though inflation is now falling. This helps to set up for a soft landing, more so than a hard landing. The full effects of rates won't be seen for some time. We understand that the rate increases are laggard. And that's why he paused last month. I don't think he should have paused, but he did. Why he paused last month was for the purposes of trying to step back a little bit and see what if what he's doing is affecting the economy. And it is. We all can see that. And you're right, John. The full effects won't be seen. And he said that yesterday. We haven't seen the full effect yet. That was one of the things I wrote down. The full effect is not felt yet. And that was a big statement that I took away from yesterday. Brandon says, most important point for me from yesterday is he's remaining data dependent. Yes, but what data? Because also he said yesterday that the one report talking about the what was going on in the economy is one report, one data set. He's looking at a culmination of a lot of different things before the next meeting. But he hasn't taken off the table that he will raise or not raise X rate. The effects of high interest rates market will zero. What does that mean, John? I'm not sure what that means. William says your Glen 23 just worked. I told you, William, we took care of you. We definitely took care of you, right? What else from the economy standpoint is working? U.S. durable goods orders climbed 4.7%, led by Boeing contracts. All right. Orders, long-lasting goods made in America jumped 4.7% due to a flush of new contracts for Boeing passenger planes, a key measure of I don't know how Boeing becomes the big leader or key in this indicator. A key measure of business investment also rose for a third month in a row to show good sign for the economy. These things about talking about how strong the economy is another key factor why the Fed is willing to raise again. He feels that right now, with the economy going the way it is, it can sustain another raise in interest. All right. Economists polled by the Wall Street Journal had forecasted a 1.5 increase in orders, and it went up to 4.7. That's a big jump in durable goods. Domi arigato. Konnichiwa. Here you go. Domi arigato. I said konnichiwa. You didn't know I knew that, did you? I've been in Okinawa, put it together about a year and a half out of my being in the. I've been in Okinawa. I love Japan. I love Japan. What about all the young folks who decided that college was too expensive and they served in the military, served apprenticeships, or just found a job to pay for their family's living expense? I was one that I didn't decide to go to college. I decided to go to college, but I decided to join the military because I wanted to be a hard-charging devil dog. Hoorah! That's what I wanted to do. Paying for college for others is unfair. Sorry for the delayed topic talk. Listen, I gave my 2 cents in regards to the relief for um, college loans. That was my 2 cents. All right, that was my 2 cents. And I love that we have a community where we can, I give you the opportunity, folks, to share your opinions, and I never downplay your opinion. I want to hear your opinions. We can have differing opinions and still be friends. All right. All right. That's on GDP. Another story, oil. Oil climbs towards April peak on tighter supply. So the story that you just said about about China. China is the biggest user or the biggest buyer of everything. Why? It's because they're such a big economy. Such a big economy. So you said that that China's delay or issues with their economy may hurt oil. I think that with Russia cutting back, with OPEC cutting back, with us, dwindling down in our reserves, the demand is going to be there, but where's the supply? That's what's going to drive oil higher. All right, that's what's going to make higher. Did you have sushi? I had sushi. Why are you asking me if I had sushi? Listen, my sushi got to be cooked. I don't eat none of that raw stuff. Market crash, market zero. Okay, I got you now. Knife Man says, we just want to make money. And you know something? I'm going to help you make some money. I'm definitely going to help you make some money. So when I look at oil climbing, I think that the demand is going to be there. But the supply is what's going to drive, the lack thereof of supply is going to drive oil prices higher. So with that, let's go to my list of stocks. All right, let's go to my list of stocks. And oil is in my list. All right. I think it's still a good play. My ticker symbol for oil is USO. As an ETF, it's up 1% today. Out of the 8 stocks that I have in my list for you, it's at the bottom of the list. Because it's an ETF, RV and RS are going to always be zero at 1. But look at that. I got an RT of above 1. So it's in an uptrend. It's a buy. Ryan just did a great video on oil last night. If you hadn't checked that out, by all means, please do check it out. He did a really good job in picking out some oil plays for you and telling you why oil is going to be something to play. So in that story talking about oil, I'm utilizing the USO as an ETF. I'm going to tell you guys to keep your eyes on that. All right, with that, let's go back into my news stories. And now I see mortgage rates are credit card rates, 16%. Also in my video for tomorrow, I talk about credit cards. I talk about borrowing money. I talk about mortgage rates. All of those things, as the Fed is still increasing in the interest rates, all of those things get affected. How do I know from a small business is affecting them? By way of layoffs. How do I know by credit cards that it's affecting us? You saw someone in the room just typed in that the debt right now on credit cards is 1 point something trillion. That's a lot of money owed on credit cards. Mortgages. People are not selling their homes right now because if you do, you're going to go buy a home at a higher mortgage rate. This is why A. Fox asked the question, and I'm of the mindset that people are going to do whatever. Instead of putting the extra money into a higher mortgage on a new home, they're going to do the best that they can, especially in this hot weather, to make their homes as nice and pretty as they absolutely can. Just bought 3 VV polo shirts. Glen 50 didn't work. Who the hell said Glen 50? I ain't said nothing about Glen 50. Sigh, you didn't hear me say nothing about Glen 50. I said Glen 23. Yeah, Glen 23. Mark, Mark, I just put you in timeout. It's done. It's done. Mark, you're in timeout. You're in. Hold on, Mark. Where am I going? Yep, you're in timeout. Go. Just go. You know where it is. You know where it is. All right. What's my next story? Next story. How about this? Royal Caribbean soars after boosting full year profit forecast. So when you look at Royal Caribbean, A. Fox, you were talking about stocks, with all this hot weather. A lot of people want to go out on the water. All right. A lot of people want to go out on the water. Knife Man, this is a stock. This is a group of stocks. We're going to take a look at them in a second. From a money-making perspective, Knife Man, I can't help but to get on board with the travel stocks. The summer's hot. People want to get away. Airbnb. I did a video that on travel stocks. Airbnb. I did a story that I don't know if it ever got published for U.S. News and World Report about travel stocks. Some of my favorite travel stocks. I think one of them was Booking.com. I picked an airline. I think I picked Delta. I picked a hotel. I think I was Hilton. So I did a booking. And then I did Royal Caribbean as a shipping. So those were my 4 best travel stocks that I liked. So Knife Man, I can't help but to get on board with this. John says, I miss when Glenn yells at me. John, how you doing? I'm yelling at you now. All right. John Bray, keep pushing those buttons. He will. I don't know how you know why I get triggered? Because I am, if you cut me, I bleed VectorVest blue. That's why I get triggered. I'm so passionate about this stuff. I'm so passionate about this stuff. So yes, I get triggered and then I start yelling and Joey's in the background probably reading the legal handbook to see if I'm staying within legal bounds before I get canceled. I think that's how it goes down. Isn't that right, Joey? Do you have HR on speed dial when it comes down to me? I think he probably does. John says, can we talk about politics so people get triggered? Nope, we're not. So Royal Caribbean and a lot of the shipping companies are probably really good plays. A lot of people, when you see they boosted the full year profit forecast, a lot of people are wanting to travel. All right, let's get into my list again. And I took Royal Caribbean. Look at this. I took 3 shipping cruise ships. Look at where they sit in my list. They're number 1, 2, and 3 by VST. So Knife Man, you want something? I'm giving it to you. Now, the thing about these stocks is that because of COVID, they've gotten so beaten up. I was looking to see if they were going to be undervalued. They're getting close, but no cigar. You get it? Cigar? No cigar. But all of these companies have relative values above 1. They have good upside potential. The summer is hot. People want to get away. People are still trying to get out of from under the thumb of being locked up so long from COVID. These shipping companies are rocking. Let's go. You know what else I know they're rocking? Look at their earnings growth rate. All three of them have earnings growth over 40%. So Knife Man, this is where I'm putting you right now. You want me to show you the money? This is where I'm putting you right now. These shipping companies, these cruise lines. I'm also going to tell you to keep an eye on a couple of airlines. I like Delta and I like American. Another one would be Booking.com, BKNG. You got to book, right? My hotel of choice would probably be Hilton. I think that's HILT. So I'm giving you a space for you to make money and giving you some stocks in that space. All right. But the cruise lines, look at them. They are kicking butt and taking names. As a matter of fact, let's go. There's Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, which we just went on this year. That was my first cruise. My wife doesn't know it, but I'm planning another cruise for us for somewhere between next March and April. And then we're already planning a cruise to go to Hawaii, a Hawaiian cruise for 2025. But I think at this point in our lives, I need to do at least 1 cruise a year. 1 cruise a year. Got to. Just got to. I got to have a cruise in my life right now. Let's go take a look at these stocks. Let's go put these on a 3-month graph. Knife Man, you watching? Knife Man. Type of 1 if you're watching, Knife Man. Look at this. Royal Caribbean, bottom left, top right. Big gap. That was probably earnings. Yep, that was the earnings play. Look at that. All right, that's Royal Caribbean. Let's go look at, there's Norwegian. Pulled back right to a level of support. Right about here. Look at that bounce. 3 and 8 just crossed today. So can you say aloha to all your peeps? I always say aloha to all my peeps at the end of the session. But look at that bottom left, top right. And the last one is Carnival. Also found a level of support. Bouncing to 3 and 8 just crossed up. So Knife Man, I got you, bro. I got you. All right. Joey has Glenn on the 3-second delay. I don't cuss. So he ain't got to have me. I ain't cussing. You know, I ain't doing, if I was cussing, I would say, you mother father. Y'all, how many of y'all just clinched up a second right there? Type of one, if you thought that I was going down that path. Type of one, if you honestly thought I was going down that path. Woo, y'all, I can picture y'all now. It was a big gasp. There was a big gasp in the room. You were probably like, oh, yeah. Mark says yawn, whatever. Paul says my virgin ears. Look at that. Maria says, I've taken Royal Caribbean. One. There you go. I'm going to Greece in the next week for a cruise. Excellent, John. Tabula says, I clenched something. I got you. All right. So that's my story when it comes down to travel stocks. Royal Caribbean was the main story because it beat earnings. But I also put a couple of its competitors in there just to show you how strong the space is right now. All right. Let's get to my next story. Tupperware. Who knew? Now, Tupperware's market cap almost triples as stock continues to skyrocket. Now, there's an important part of this. Tupperware brands, blah, 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 Wednesday, as shares of beleaguered maker Iconic continue to skyrocket. The stock ended Monday's session up 75.6% on no apparent news. Robert says, I was afraid you were going to cuss in front of my dog. I would never. On no apparent news. Now, this is one of those meme stocks like AMC and GME. This was another one of those meme stocks. I don't know if it's a meme play right now, but the stock is kicking butt. Rallying again Wednesday, up 42%. Monday, up 75%. Tuesday, it was down 15.8%. That was profit taken. And then, here we go, fear of missing out on the people that missed the 75% day. On Wednesday, up another 42.9% on no apparent news. Now, the next thing you should say is, should I buy that stock? Well, I'm glad you asked that question. Let's go find Tupperware. Finding Tupperware, let's go analyze it. The stock is grossly overvalued. It is optionable. Fundamentally, there's nothing that says that you should buy Tupperware. RT is pegged all the way into 2. So, no news, meme stock. Do you take any piece of that? Well, let me answer that question a little bit more. Yes, it's a buy recommendation. Positive earnings, negative earnings growth rate. Okay, let's scroll over a little bit. No dividend, big volume. The volume is huge. Sales growth. If the earnings is the engine that drives the stock's price higher, sales is the fuel to drive the engine. The sales ain't there. So the only people who should be taking advantage of this are the people who are looking to skim some money, really all technical. Let's go right click, view the stock graph. Let's go view the stock graph, put this on a 3-month graph. Big jump. What I don't like and why I'm telling you that this is a technical play. Look at the big wick on today's candle. Anybody know what that candlestick pattern is called? Type it in the room. What is that candlestick pattern called? Okay. Anybody? The rise appears to be associated with Rally and AMC. That, to me, when it looks at the meme stocks, I don't think they move in tandem. Not a hammer, Cody. It's not a hammer. Shooting star. That's exactly where it is. And it's a possible reversal. It's a possible, Dennis is right too, a blow off top. I don't know what that is. But I'm looking more of at it as a shooting star. All right, it's a shooting star. That's a big wick. That's what yeah, that's right. That's a big wick. And that shows me a lot of selling pressure. Debbie, I got you. Amir, are you here? Amir, are you here? Debbie wants opera. I got you. I told you that I would look for you today, right, Debbie? I told you that I would look for you today. So we're going to take your opera. I got you. So this is a possible reversal. I think that the easy money was made back here. I don't think you're going to have any easy money going right now. I don't think you got any more easy money right now. All right, so Tupperware, big move on no news. The analysis says stay away. Unless you're already in it. If you're in it, you better take that money and run. You better take that money and run. All right. Let's get into my next story. The next story is on Meta. Meta reports, this was yesterday, reports better than expected results and issues optimistic guidance for the third quarter. We all know that Meta is a decent company, right? Meta reported double-digit revenue growth for the first time since the fourth quarter of 2021. So they didn't have double-digit revenue growth for all of 2022. Now they've got one. The company's forecast for the third quarter was better than analysts were expecting. I think a lot of it is AI driven. I don't think it's the metaverse at all. I think they're so far from the metaverse even being considered as far as anything. I wouldn't even touch it. Debbie says sell on Opera. I haven't even gotten into Opera yet. I'll get into Opera when we look at stocks. All right, when we look at stocks, if that's what you're asking. But here's the story: $2.98 versus $2.91. 32 billion versus 31. They didn't beat revenue by a lot, but they beat it. So revenue increased 11% from a year earlier, the first time the company has reported double-digit growth since 2021. This is big. This is big. So what did Drew said? That's a big wick. I know I almost said something wrong too. All right. So from here, let's go take a look at it in my list. Where does it sit? Meta. All right, grossly overvalued. The big thing is that it makes money. The long-term upside potential is not there. All right. The company is moving still. I think AI is one of the big factors moving it, pushing the price up as well. Now, this is what catches my attention. They make money, but they're growing at a negative. They make money, but they're growing it at a negative clip. But it's in an uptrend. Got a CI above 1. It's got a VST above 1. Meta is a big name stock. Let's go look at the stock graph. Meta is a big name stock. And it doesn't fit the bill for everything I'd like to see in a stock that I want you to buy. So I'm looking at a 3-month graph. Bottom left, top right, pull back, found a level of support. But look at today's candle. New high, new 3-month high. But see the price right here is lower than the open. It's almost starting to fade its own gap. Given that the market is looking toppy, I'm telling you to be careful with Meta. It may have done well on earnings. Let's go put earnings on. It may have done well on earnings. But you do know that the market's direction affects 80% of the stocks in the market. I think that Meta, being as well known as it is and people's perception driving it up, Meta is going to be a stock that when the market does go down, it's going to go down hard. Thank me later. Thank me later. But this is what we call one of those high flyer, and it'll break down. It'll break down. There's nothing fundamentally behind it besides relative safety. Right? So that's my story on Meta. Good earnings beat, but look at the give back today. A lot of people taking their profits. So be careful with Meta. All right. Let's go to my next news story. QuantumScape. Where's Brian? Don't ask me what a quantum is. QuantumScape stock is soaring. I did a video on the alternative clean energy where we were looking at the alternative to lithium batteries, where we did a story on solid state batteries. QuantumScape was one of the stocks that was in the list. Here's what's driving the gains. The company is still pre-sales. It works on solid state EV batteries. Solid state in this instant refers to a solid electrolyte, the part of the battery that facilitates the flow of electrical current. Solid state batteries are the next generation technology that promise longer range, lower cost, battery safety, and faster charging. So, QuantumScape, I did like in that list when I made it, and it made the news in regards to the stock is moving up. Let's go analyze the stock. Go look at it. Where is it in my list? Towards the bottom, though. Look at that, $10.64 with a value of $245. So it's a little bit overvalued. The relative value and relative safety is below 1. So why do I like this stock? Well, RT is above 1. I like this stock because it is coming out as an alternative to the lithium battery. I like the solid state because they could be smaller batteries with a longer range and a quicker charging time. All of those things, because the EV space is such a hot space, the demand for EVs is growing. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So I'm always looking at the companies in the EV space that can provide the cars, right, to accommodate demand. But in technology, moving from lithium, and we got a whole bunch of issues with China trying to get the stuff that we need, the natural rare earth elements to get the solid state batteries alleviate that. So QuantumScape, I do like, fundamentally not sound, but I think it's on the precipice on being able to get into the EV space with a lot stronger footing. Why is the market selling off? Hi, Nectarios. Why is the market selling off? I don't know. Is it selling off? Let's go to the graphs. It is. It's selling off big time. I don't know what in the news is pushing the market to sell off today right now. Fed talked yesterday, so I don't even know if it's a Fed thing. Anybody got any news? Look at that. Not only, look at that. What's the candlestick pattern we got right now forming with today's candle compared to yesterday's candle? Anybody want to type it in the room? What's that candlestick pattern? Right at the new July high. What is that candlestick pattern? Right as the market is looking toppy. What is that candlestick pattern? Anybody? Nobody? Make the call, Glenn. What do you mean make the call? I know what it is. It's a bearish engulfing. That's right. There you go. It's a bearish engulfing.
Means you gotta call the Fed again.
You
gotta get on the Fed phone.
I gotta call the Fed? All right, hold on. Excuse me. Hello? Yeah, I need to speak to Jerome, please. Yo, JJ, what's up, bro? Hey, what's going on with the market right now? What you doing? Huh? No. Put the ramen noodles down. You don't need the ramen noodles right now. Put the ramen noodles down. Get up all yo. Don't make me come over there. Don't make me come over there. I got a live stream. I got a live stream right now. People are talking about what's going on in the market. All right. Change it around. All right. Sorry about that. I had to give a call to my nephew Jerome, in regards to what was going on. He said he's going to take care of it. All right. He said he's going to make he said he's going to take care of it. He don't want me to get back on the phone with him. He want me to get he'll take care of it. All right. So the Fed phone is the best thing on the internet right now. The Fed phone. Listen, you wanted me to call the Fed. I did it. Took care of you. I took care of you. All right. Let's get to my next news story. Tupperware. I had the two. I should have put the other Tupperware story together. But that's still to go back up with Tupperware. Last one. This is a very interesting story. This story right here. We all know what's going on with Tesla. Tesla is offering major car manufacturers the opportunity that have the EVs to charge on their charging. 7 car makers to launch new EV charging network in North America. They're going after Tesla. All right. They're going after Tesla. What companies, pray tell, are going after Tesla in the charging space? Well, let me go tell you who they are. BMW, General Motors, but they gave access to General Motors to their charging. Honda, Hyundai, Kia, Mercedes-Benz. Look at this. Stellantis. 7 companies on a joint venture to come up with their own charging. Now, let me ask you this question. Do you think that this will be a viable competition to Tesla charging? Type of 1 if you think so. Type of 2 if you don't. This is an interesting question, but I like the idea of the competition. Tesla's almost got the market cornered on this. I like this idea. But now the other question is, are these charging stations going to be anywhere as good as the existing Tesla. I want you to keep these companies on. Take a picture of this, whatever it is. I like this story because I like that someone is trying to go up against the big boys. The company said they are targeting to install at least 30,000 high-powered charge points in urban and highway locations. Ask Jay why he freaked the market up. I don't know, Kabula. Listen, I'm doing a live stream. I couldn't use all my time that I got with you to go talk to him. I see a lot of twos, but the competition is good, says Brandon. Now, I think there's a part in here that goes and talks about the reality behind what Tesla has and what these guys have. Coalition includes 2 automakers that have already announced that they would equip their EVs with the General Motors and Mercedes-Benz. I thought there was a part of the story that talked about comparing the two. But 30,000, each site will be equipped with multiple high-powered DC chargers and will offer canopies wherever possible, as well as amenities such as restroom, food service, and retail operations. It's going to be like a luxury charging your car. Now, with all of that, it begs me to ask the question of how long it's going to take for these to charge your car. You got all of that stuff going on. You want the restrooms, the food service, and retail operations. That tells me that these charging stations may not be able to charge your vehicle as fast as a Tesla. Interesting. All right, so we'll see. But I thought that this was a good enough story that I want you guys to keep your eyes on these stocks. I think that that's a good competition thing. So I didn't put all of these companies into my watch list. All I really did was I went and put Tesla in my watch. Tesla's the only one towards the bottom half of the list. We all know that Tesla's a good, fundamentally sound stock. They make money. But those other companies, again, write them down. Build a watch list of those companies. I think, once they get together, looks like the beginning, the start of the project. And once I guess they get it locked down, it's gonna have to give it a name. Kind of charging unit it's gonna be. It's gonna be interesting. Don't forget to turn off all your electric appliances because the electric car needs. I think that's to the extreme. I've done more than one story talking about even with the growing demand and people picking up electric cars, and the majority of electric cars get charged on the off-peak hours when everybody's sleeping. So, yes, does it affect the grid if you're charging in the daytime? Absolutely. But I think the majority of the cars are charged during off-peak hours. And I think that they're going to have to build up the infrastructure to take on the the addition of cars being charged in the daytime. All right. So those are my stories for today. We went through the story. We went through the stock. We analyzed it. Let's go look at the graph of Tesla. Go look at the graph of Tesla. Do I like it? Ooh, baby. I like it like that. I like it like that. I like it like that. Let's go see if I like. Ooh. 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 Ew. I don't like that. But I do have a level here of support, which was at this most recent gap back here in June, early June. That stands at a level of support sitting at about 240.85. The 3.8 crossed a few days ago. That was your opportunity if you were in Tesla to take it. I don't own Tesla right now, but I did own it somewhere back here for a little bit. And then I did own it when it was going down when he cut the prices. It's tough to own it right now. If you do own it right now, you got to make up your own mind on when to take profits on it. That was your best opportunity early wise to take your profit. I'd rather have been out there than to be still riding it down. Right? So that's all of that. And that's all my stories for today. Caesar says, my wage is still the same. My wage is still the same too. Joey, did your wage change? You better say it didn't change. Because if your wage changed and my wage didn't change, we're going to have some words. All right. Nice when it rebounds on Tesla. I agree. I just be careful with Tesla right now as it's pulling back. I did give you a solid line in the sand, and if it falls below that end of day, you probably should be out of it. Tesla's under investigation right now in California for what? Where'd they do? Where'd they do? I don't even know what they did. All right. So now what am I going to do? Let's go look at your picks. Go look at your picks. Debbie gave me her pick already, Opera. Amir, are you here? I could do more than 10 stocks because it's my live stream. My live stream. So, or ARGT. False advertising on what, Drew? ASO.
Hi. I think I messed you up.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
what did you do?
I changed the scene.
ASO.
My wage to go up.
LTHM. Dust. ALGM. I'm not on. LABD. CUK. That is Carnival Cruise. I saw that, Eugene. That's UK though. XOM. ACLS. SMCI. MX.
You got the people from yesterday?
Huh?
The lady from
earlier?
Yeah,
Debbie's got her stock in here, but I was looking for Amir. Evidently, he's not here. The EPQ. Isn't that the EP? Isn't that the dividend stock? JEPQ. I think it is. Nail. Google. SLDP. DE. Celsius. DEC. I ain't got it. CE Celsius, CELH, RS, Perry, Pedro, that's a dog. AI, C3AI, yep. NVIDIA, NVDA, gave me L. Is there an L? There's an L. Oh, that's the ETF for it. Gotcha. Is that Visa or Visa? You want Visa? Visa, okay. Wow, yeah, we saw okay. Donkey Kong, which is DraftKings, CMG, Chipotle, Crocs, they're getting beat up. XLE Energy, EGLS, one of my favorite stocks, HLX, and more. Palantir. Really, Maria? Really, I own Palantir. All right. Let's go see what we got going on. Ain't nothing going on, but y'all gave me 30 stocks. I typed in 30 mother father stocks today. 30. You thought I did it again. Ooh-wee. Crocs, which was such a good company, is a sell. That catches my attention. Chipotle. Chipotle is a sell. Ooh, look at that. What else is a sell? Let's sort this by recommendation. 2 sells on the list. Crocs and Chipotle. Interesting. And MXL. I don't know much about MXL, but it's also a sell recommendation. It is an undervalued stock, though. Interesting. Wow. It's down 22%. Let's view the stock news. Down 22%. Why? Silicon Motion says it will seek to enforce merger. Oh, didn't we talk about? No, was this this wasn't the stock that we talked about? What number? All right, it will seek to enforce merger. So evidently, Max Linear terminated its deal to buy Silicon hours after the unexpected news. Oh, didn't we talk about this yesterday? I think we did. Wasn't it up? Go view the stock. Wasn't it up bigly yesterday? 3-month graph. Ow. I don't want it. That stock is like MC Hammer. Your host, Samuel L. Tompkins. I'm tired of these mother father stocks on my mother father plane. Okay. I gotta stop because I'm gonna get censored. I'm gonna get canceled, and Joey ain't gonna have a job. So I don't want that to happen. Eat lunch at Chipotle wearing my Crocs. That's a lose-lose combination. I'm wearing Crocs right now, says man. I will never wear a pair of Crocs. All right, let's sort this list by VST. Out of the stocks by VST, let's go see who get SMCI, Excellus, Celsius, Carnival. What's the difference between my Carnival and this Carnival? Okay. Oh, it's cheaper and it's not an ETF. Helix Energy, there's the NVIDIA. Nail, AMAT, TGRS, Technoglass. We're going to come back to that in a second. Steel, I still like as well, down today. Crocs, beat up. Go look at the news on that. Did they miss on earnings? 13%. Crocs record revenue. Crocs drop after sales outlook trimmed. It must have been the forward guidance. Despite Hey Dude miss, analysts say new products are galvanizing. Those are some of the ugliest. SEMO was up yesterday. The company MX. SEMO was. Thank you, Tyree. I know it was something like it was one of those companies. About that, yeah. So it was. I don't think it was earnings. I think it was the forward guidance, Marie. I think it was the forward guidance. All right. SEMO was the stock. SEMO is not in here, but it's the max. What is it? 30 stocks. I got. Steve C is probably wearing his. No, he doesn't wear his Crocs to work. Todd does. Steve doesn't. There's the MXL, down 22%. Let's go see what's at the bottom of the list. WISA. WISA, okay. But WISA not buying this stock. Oh, WISA say no. Let's go look at the stock graph. Let's go find out why WISA say no. On 3-month graph. Not a lot of volume. Big pop today. This wasn't an earnings play, was it? No. Big pop today, but pull back. The 3 and the 8 cross. $1.43 low dollar stock. Relative value, relative safety, both poopy. There's nothing about this stock that I like. I do like that it went from a sell to a hold. It is rising. It is rising. I don't know the news on this. Here's my level of support. It is bouncing off that and rising. That's the only good thing I like about it. I'd like to see if it's got legs to get up past that. Sitting at about 203. Right? Opera. There's Opera. Did I not put Opera? There's Opera. Opera. Overvalued, good upside potential. Go take a look at the stock graph. Stock graph. There you go, Debbie. I got you. 3-month graph. Ow. Opera did go. That would have been a good opportunity to get out right there. The 3-8 cross. Get back in. 3-8 cross. That would have been a great opportunity to take your profit. Right now, it's not only is it falling, it might, if as long as it falls below that blue line, which is my stop price, stock will automatically. Dennis, this might sound better. Sorry. What does it mean when you have a stock, but later it changes name? You can figure this out. Doesn't make sense. A stock will change name if it moves exchanges, especially if it doesn't meet the requirements to stay on an exchange. I think you've got to maintain a $2 price in order to stay on the NASDAQ. If you fall below that, then you go to the pink sheets. Ticker symbol will change. Does that help you, Debbie? Do you think NEO is going to beat earnings? Good time to buy? The space is hot. The space is still hot. The demand is still there. Do I think NEO is going to be? Maybe, maybe not. Overvalued, not fundamentally there. It is in an uptrend because the whole group is in an uptrend. Negative earnings growth. Ooh-wee. It all depends on what they say they did in sales. The stock is moving, but I don't know what their sales were. I don't know what their revenues were. I don't know if they made money, especially when I'm looking at earnings. Let's go look at earnings per share on a graph. It's falling. Earnings per share is falling. Earnings growth is falling. I think it's a high probability that they miss earnings. This is the last earnings here. It rose for a little bit before it fell and rose some more. I think it's a high probability that they miss. Stephanie, I'm going to be doing a video shortly on Contras. I think it's time to think about Contras. Stocks at the top of the list. All right, let's go look at the stocks at the top of the list. Why are they top of the list? Let's go take a look why. That's why. Why at the top of the list? ACLS is pulling back, but look at the 3-8 crossing now. Let's go look at the next one. Ooh, Celsius again. I'm a fan. This is where I should have taken my profits, right? At least right here. Somewhere up in here, I should have taken profits. Next one. See, another Carnival. I do like the rising earnings per share. The earnings growth is falling, but still at 40. Earnings growth is falling, but still at 40. But love the rising earnings per share. 3-8 crossing. I like the cruise ships. Knife Man, you still here? Knife Man, you still here? If you are, again, you wanted the ability to show me. You wanted me to show you the money. I'm telling you, those travel stocks that was in my list, my money. Let's go look at the middle of the list. AMAT down to Palantir. Right click, view the stock graph. Applied Material. Have you looked at SMCI yet? I just did, Ralph. I just did. Did I not just do that? Then I just looked. That was one of the top stocks in here. Ooh, Applied Material. Watch that big reversal pattern sign. It broke through resistance, hit a new high, but look at the pullback. I like the 3-8 crossing. I like all of that stuff. I like the rising earnings, the whole 9 yards. That's a scary sign right there. That's a scary sign right there. All right. Man, I like this group, but that was my opportunity right there. That was my opportunity right there to get out of the stock. Actually, I could have gotten out right there, but that was a hammer formation. Came through. Boom. I got the crossover on the 3 and the 8 and follow through, and the stock's price is still falling. Again, I like the space, just not right now. Google, new 3-month high right now after being in a channel for about 2 out of 3 months right here. Rising earnings, gotta love that. RS, steel, again, goes with that glass play. 3-8 crossing over today. I got some buying pressure on the wick right here. But the 3-8 crossing, this may not be a bad opportunity to take that off the table or take some of it off the table. NEO. Again, good question about is it going to meet earnings based upon historically? I'm going to say it's probably got a high probability of missing earnings. Right? It's a high probability. Now, if they beat, they beat. You asked me the question, and I gave you my answer based on the analysis. Wow, Crocs, no. ALGM, sideways move, nice move. How about right there would have been your point to get out where the 3 went below the 8. Next one, same thing on Palantir. I own it. That might be a good opportunity to get out when the 3 went below the 8, but I've also trading this level of support sitting at 1601. If it closes below that level of support, then I'm going to get out of it. End of day. Earnings per share, they picked up another contract with somebody, as a matter. All right, but you said about SMCI. We did look at SMCI. The question was it time to sell? SMCI, hold through earnings. I think it's got a great opportunity to beat earnings. It's got a great opportunity to beat earnings. Fundamentally sound stock, relative value, relative safety, both above 1. Earnings growth at 36% positive. I'm thinking that SMCI should have a great opportunity. Now, Ralph, your question is, do you hold through earnings? Preferably, if I own the stock, I want to hedge myself and sell a covered call against it, just in case. Does that make sense, Ralph? That's what I'd really like to do. In SMCI, looking at the exchange, it is optionable. That's what I would like to do. I think it's got a high probability of meeting or beating earnings. But I would rather to put, if just to be on the safe side, I'd sell a cover call. Taking that premium. Anybody hear why the market dropped in the past hour? And to answer your question, I don't know. I called Jerome. I called him. Let's go look at the intraday 1 minute After I called Jerome, he didn't listen. I have to call him when we. The VV composite finished Friday at 60.24. We are now lower week over week. That is a big move. That is a big move. All right. With that being said, I think that's today's session. That's today's session. If you liked it, you enjoyed being here today, hit the like button. SMC already pre-announced earnings last week. What did they say, Knife Man? I didn't know about that. Fernando says we're a bit overbought is why. It's about the market just in itself is overbought. That's why the market, I think it's more than that. Something else happened. Something else. And right now with the market being toppy, all it needs to take is a little bit of bad news to push the market down. You forgot LTHM. I didn't forget it. Viewers, LTHM. Remember, I looked at a lot of these stocks. LTHM undervalued, good upside potential. Good upside potential. 43%, the best on here by earnings growth. Right click, view the stock graph. It's in the 3-month graph. Wow. I like the stock. This ain't the right time. This ain't the right time. That is my 3-8 crossing end of day. That would be my opportunity. I had a line in the sand already with support resistance right here at 26.15. If you're still in it, I don't know what to tell you. 2 opportunities to get out here and here. No reason why you should still be in it. All right. No reason. That's my opinion. Even if you want to hold it long term, then again, sell a covered call. If you want to hold this long term, sell the covered call. Glenn, adjudication T-bills 7 years at 1 p.m. Then the market drip. Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate that. Badger says, thanks for the effort, Joey. You made the talent look pretty good today. Did you do TGLS? I just looked at. Did I not just do TGLS? That was my stocks in the middle. I did. It was a big hit to the downside. I said I liked it, but it was a tough time to be in it. I did look at that. I did. I said I liked it, but it's a tough time to be in.
Some people are on a delay.
Huh?
Some people are on a delay.
Oh, yeah. I did look at TGLS. All right. Now I got to go. How many likes did we get today, Joey? I only hit. Only 75? Only 75? That's all right. It is what it is. Listen, I will never twist your arms for likes. If it was worth it for you to stop by today, hit the like button. Mark is in timeout. That's why I just stay in timeout. That and out Buffett. Well, Mark was in timeout today. You're welcome, William. You the man, Dr. Glenn. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate it. I haven't had a beer in 11 days, so you don't need to restock the time. So you don't. Okay, I got you. I'm drinking my cafe, but this is my first cup of coffee all day. It's my first cup of coffee all day. All right. With that, folks, we're getting ready to go. Don't forget, Ryan's got a video coming out tonight. Right, Joey? He does have a video coming out tonight, yes?
Yes, sir.
Yep. He's starting a new series of his own. Make sure you tune in. That's going to be at 6 p.m. tonight. And I've already recorded the video for tomorrow about understanding what the Fed said to get some deeper understanding. You don't want to miss either one of those videos. If you don't want to miss them, if you're brand new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon. You will get an alert when those videos are ready for you to see. All right. Can you give up beer, Mark? Carcinogens? You can give up beer. I'm not giving up my cigarette. All right. Only for 30 days. Don't worry. Listen. All right. Listen. I got to go. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. Even after the video is up, don't forget to still share video. Because now it moves from a live stream to a video. Share it. Let people know what we're doing here. Adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. To all my peeps in Hawaii and the Bahamas. Bom dia, salam, shalom, namaste, yasu. Train. Until the next time, folks. See ya.